combined weight of 460 pounds, Rudy Diamond and his partner, Raymond. And up into the ring for a combined weight of 613 pounds from
One of the toughest tag team combinations in the history of the sport. The Samoans getting set to enter the ring now. Going up against Rudy Diamond and his partner. These Samoans are double devastating in the ring. Dangerous at all times. Big, powerful men. And they have a style that is theirs and theirs alone. Totally unique in wrestling, and it has proven to be absolutely devastating to any and all opponents that they've faced. All right, one fall, 10-minute time limit now. Let's watch the Samoans. And they are almost casual in their approach. And this has to be unnerving to their opponents when two men can look so cool, so calm, and so relaxed. And they know in just a moment or two it's going to be a one-on-one combative situation. And so the Samoans sizing up the situation now. Get set. Begin to circle. They're in the center of the ring. Once again, we lock up collar and elbow very quickly. The Samoan pulls him back into the ropes, catches him, and another chop into the throat that drops his man. And now, the Samoan wasting no time, and not a choke. He's on either side of the throat. Another chop into the chest. And another chop that drops him, and he would be well to tag up with his partner, Rudy Diamond. Brings him up, a full body slam. Brother, that'll jar those 26 vertebrae. The Samoan going to a pressure point now on the side of the neck itself. And that can send a lot of pain coursing through the body. And that's one thing about the Samoans. They're well versed on the 26 pressure points. One caught him in the midsection but had little or no effect. And that punch just didn't have authority, but the Samoans did. The Samoan catches him again. Tag is made. Rudy Diamond moves into the squared circle, and all right, using that speed and that agility to move away from the Samoan, and he realizes he's not going to outpower him. All right, taking him on a frontal attack now. Let's see exactly what happens here. All right, good clean break. Steps back, locks up, collar and elbow once again. Back up against the ring rope. Now watch the Samoan has good block by Diamond, and he fires back with a hard right hand to the head. Samoan trying to shake that one off, clear up some cobwebs. And so the Samoan may be looking at Diamond with some newfound respect. Brings him back into his own corner, and they very quickly double team, right? And again, using those pressure points. And this obviously comes from their many years of touring throughout the Pacific into the Orient. And they've been able to pick up a lot of the Oriental approaches to the sport of wrestling. Knowing the nerve points and the pressure points, they double team very quickly on Diamond. Catch him coming off the ropes. And the Samoans have things pretty well under control at this point in time in this Australian tag team event. And the crowd obviously becoming increasingly unhappy about the situation. Diamond finds himself in rather dire straits as the Samoans continue to move very confidently against this team. Diamond trying to figure an escape, trying to block himself from further pain, and again the referee warning him about getting too close into the throat area. The tag is made once again, and Diamond, and they're going to double team on him. Catch it, powerful thrust into the chest. Diamond driven back to the canvas, and he's had a lot of wind taken out of his sails. Another massive forearm across the base of the skull, another one across the back of the neck. And it's Diamond firing back in the shoulder smash that had little or no effect on the Samoan. Samoan caught him with a hard, ripping right hand coming off the rope, and a headbutt that has Diamond in a whole heap of trouble, if you will. A count of three, and the Samoans win with relative ease over this combination. And so the Samoans continue their unbeaten ways here on Championship Wrestling. We'll be back with more action on the International Championship Wrestling after we pause. That's 60 minutes for you. A little bit later on, we're going to see the beginning of a situation that hopefully will end at the end of this program today. I'm talking about an altercation between the Rockers and the Sheepherders. Also on today's program, we're going to be seeing Kevin Sullivan, the master of the occult and the fallen angel. We'll be watching the Invaders in action. We'll be seeing the Universal Heavyweight Wrestling Champion Dory Funk Jr. in action, and also the former Universal Heavyweight Champion from San Juan, Puerto Rico, the sensational Carlos Colon. And Dr. D, David Schultz, will be with us. We'll be watching this man in videotaped action. Now, in just a moment, we're going to show you why a rematch has been ordered between the Rockers and the Sheepherders today on International Championship Wrestling. It was just a couple of weeks ago when the Sheepherders decided to take upon themselves and interfere in the Rockers' match. Let's take a look at what happened.
They've got Perez hooked on that rope, but how? I can't tell from here. Perez handcuffed or tied to that ring rope.
He's handcuffed. He's handcuffed to the ring rope. This is what they did to the Invader.
The pile driver with an assist onto that chair, onto that steel folding chair. And watch here, Williams. Perez trying to fight him off. He's handcuffed to that rope. And here comes the Invaders. Here comes the Invaders.
Well, we'll be seeing the Rockers and the Sheepherders as the very last match, made at ringside by the very curvaceous Fallen Angels. Sullivan being released now and getting set to move into the ring. One fall, 10-minute time limit. The Fallen Angel, strangely beautiful, one would say. Sullivan, a master of the sport, a brilliant strategist in the ring, but has a vicious, vindictive streak in him that has cost a lot of wrestlers a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. Fallen Angel leaves the ring, and Sullivan wastes no time as he begins to chop away at the throat of Diamond. Now catches Diamond and hurdles him right through the ring ropes out onto the timer's table, and Sullivan right after him again. Sullivan pounding away on Diamond. Sullivan catches him again and again, and Diamond just had no opportunity. He has been completely overwhelmed by this man who is a literal beehive of activity. Sullivan brings him up, slams him into the broken timer's table, and Diamond is beginning to wonder exactly where he is and what he's doing. Meanwhile, Sullivan, completely in charge of the situation, moves outside again, adds more punishment. But again, notice Sullivan is moving in and out of the ring so that he doesn't lose on that 10-count situation. And again, Sullivan moves back inside just before the 10 count. Diamond still pummeled and beaten by Sullivan, and now Sullivan punishes him some more. Sullivan catches him with the flat of the foot. Up into the shoulder area now, Sullivan down those stairs and out after Diamond again. Diamond firing ineffectually to the midsection. Now Diamond fires back a good headbutt and rocks Sullivan. Sullivan could be in trouble now as Diamond continues to pound away at him. Diamond firing back. Sullivan turning the tables once again as Diamond back in the ring. Sullivan stepping through those ropes, and there you see the signal from the Fallen Angel. And she is indeed a wild and bizarre individual. Double thrust into the throat of Diamond that has him back on the canvas, and Sullivan very much in control of the situation again. Things had looked rather bad momentarily for Sullivan. And again, you see the snarling visage of the fallen angel. And Sullivan up on that second ring rope now. Walking along the ring rope, suddenly hurdles off, catches him with a double thrust into the shoulder vertical press. Diamond able to power away before the count of 3, however. Dandy catches him. Base of the elbow across the back. Diamond's back has been punished and punished severely by Kevin Sullivan. Diamond is a gritty individual. Fires back a series of forearms to the side of the jaw, an Irish whip. Caught him with a drop kick coming off, but Sullivan was able to bear the brunt of that on his rather broad back, and it is Diamond now an Irish whip off the rope. Sullivan caught him with a lariat coming off the ropes into a lateral press. Gets the 3 count. He gets the 3 count, and so the master of the occult, Kevin Sullivan, he emerges the victor, much to the dissatisfaction of the thousands that are jammed here at the arena watching the matches. But again, Kevin Sullivan and the Fallen Angel leave the ring as victors in another encounter. Extremely popular, Carlos Colon of that title. And of course, when you look at a man like Funk, you realize that any pleasantries that he might exchange with you 15 minutes before a match is completely divorced from his attitude when he gets in that ring. Let's pick up our ring announcer. The bell has sounded. We're waiting for this one to get underway. The Rockers, almost identical in height, weight, and physical development. And so are the Sheepherders. The Sheepherders have the edge here in time in the ring and experience, plus the international experience, which is so very, very critical. But the Rockers are getting it going now. They've got this crowd with them all the way. It's 110% here with the Rockers, and let's see how it's going to happen. And the Rockers start off. They've thrown away the rule book already. Hard right hands. A slugfest between the then the Rockers score again. Good block that time, and the Rocker rocks him. Catches him again and drives him backwards. And the Rocker catches him high in the chest, and the Sheepherders leave the ring. The referee upended at the same time. For the Sheepherders, and the Sheepherders got himself a Texas fly swatter in his hand, but he drops it to one side, and luckily for him, he could have risked disqualification. Referee now trying to keep them separated until they get the right man in the ring. Rocker's not waiting for that. And he's caught from behind. They're going to be double teaming here. And the Sheepherders indeed. Pardon me. Sheepherders catching him. And again that chant being picked up by the crowd. USA. Brother, the Rocker caught him that time. That knocked him all the way back to Tallahassee, Florida, I'll tell you. He caught him beautifully with that knee, and the Sheepherders are rocking and reeling now. Now, I'll tell you what. If the Rockers lose this match, it won't be because they didn't have the crowd 110% behind them. But the Sheepherders now beginning to dominate the situation. Double rear chin lock now by the Sheepherders. And the Rockers in trouble. Drives an elbow to the midsection, a hard right hand. Another right cross to the side of the jaw. Irish whip into the far turnbuckle. And so, watch out from behind. Snap there that takes the Sheepherder back to the canvas. Drives the knee into the chest. Count of 2 and a near fall for the Rockers. And so they've got things going pretty much their own way here. The Sheepherders off the ropes. The Rocker catches it coming off the top rope. Well executed drop kick. The Rockers put everything they have into it. Overhooking. Pancaking on the body now. Sheepherder trying to hook those legs. The Rocker takes his man back into his own corner, makes the tag. Ooh, brother. Down across the biceps and triceps. And they've got the Sheepherders in trouble as they need those biceps and triceps. Again, driving the knee into the upper arm. More punishment to the Sheepherders. Well, lacked the tag on that one. And the referee has his hands full. Two highly spirited teams. And both teams equal to the task of double teaming. No question about that. And our ringside cameraman, dangerously close, but he's picking up some beautiful close-up shots for us. Right in on top of the action. And always remember, when you're watching us, you're watching every seat is a ringside seat. No question about that. If you're sitting in the comfort of your day room or your living room or wherever, every seat here is a ringside seat on top of the action. The Sheepherder reaching out the tag, but his partner occupied with the crowd missed that, and now looking over to see if he wants the tag. Moves around to the other side of the ring. The Rocker brings him over, fires him up the rope. Rocker catches a good shoulder strike. Tripped up, I believe. Tripped up. And that's why the Sheepherders are so dangerous. It's that bit of subterfuge that works so well for the Sheepherders. The Sheepherder now comes off the flat of the foot into the thoracic area of the back. Catches him once again. Drives that foot repeatedly into the back of the rib cage, and that'll help drive the air out of the lungs. Rocker's in trouble now. Standing guillotine, also known as the abdominal stretch. He's got the abdominal stretch on him. If he can drop that to a lateral guillotine, he'll have him for sure. But the Rocker battling it, tightening up against it. Those abdominal muscles being pulled. Lots of stress. Rocker trying to get a tag made. He breaks it. Beautiful move. Beautiful move on the part of the Rocker. Makes the tag. All right. And now the Rockers are doing exactly that. They're rocking and rolling. A good Irish whip coming off the rope. The Rocker catches him with a hard forearm. The Rocker's on his feet now. The Sheepherder backing away. The Sheepherder back into the corner. And this crowd now is beginning to go wild as they can sense a possible victory here on the part of the Rockers. The Rockers kept a good cross-body block. Broken up by the Sheepherder. And now we've got a four-way melee going on. And the Rockers right after him again outside the ring. We've got another battle inside the ring. Catches him now. An abdominal stretch, a reversal of a situation just a little bit earlier. The Sheepherder catches him from behind, and once again, we've got a four-way pair sixer going on in the ring. And again, one Rocker follows the Sheepherder out. Meanwhile, the other Sheepherder brings the Rocker up in the ring, a pile driver. This spells bad news. rocker saves him again. A good hard right hand, another right. Left hand, that is. And again you hear the chant being picked up by the crowd, USA. And the rockers are with it all the way. And the referee, distraught, he is not able to keep these four men under control, has called for the bell. The referee has called for the bell. All right, that's all she wrote. The referee calls for the bell. And this situation between the Rockers and the Sheepherders is far from settled. And the ring now beginning to fill up with competitors from all over the country. And that's all the time we have for this week. We'll see you next week at the same time. Until then, Gordon Soley saying so long. The Universal Heavyweight Champion, Dory Jr. in the ring. And he's getting set to move out against the former Universal Heavyweight Champion, Carlos Colon. This is the match that everybody's waited for. This should be a classic confrontation. Two masters of the squared circle, Dory Funk Jr. and Carlos Colon. Funk, a man of rather questionable probity, however, but it is Funk coming off the ropes very quickly. Colon cut him off at the pass. Funk is a wrestler who wastes no motion. Side headlock now by Carlos Colon, coming off that collar and elbow. Colon with a quick hip lock takedown, has the side headlock on Dory Funk Jr. Funk tries to roll him into a pinning combination. The referee very quickly checking those shoulders, a quick count. Colon keeping the side headlock. Both Funk and Colon, gentlemen with amazing stamina. Funk tried to fire Colon off the ropes, but Colon clamped down with that side headlock. Sidebar to the face, but Funk did not have the leverage. Colon keeping the side headlock. Funk now. Irish whip reversed by Colon. Colon caught him coming off. Good high hip toss into a hip lock takedown and side headlock by Colon. And Funk very quickly got that shoulder off the count of 2. Dory Funk Jr. hails from Amarillo, Texas. Actually from Umbarger, Texas. Carlos Colon punishing Funk. Now Funk again tries to bar the side of the head of Carlos Colon. Colon maintains the pressure. It has been Colon who has been keeping the pressure on Funk. A rather unusual posture for Carlos Colon to be in the position of a challenger. Colon ducks away and catches him with a good cross-body block. Funk powers out before the count. And here's where Funk, there now. You can hear the crowd reacting rather derisively. But Dory Funk Jr. just did a very intelligent thing. He broke the momentum of Carlos Colon. Colon, realizing this, brings Funk back into the ring. Colon recognized exactly what Funk was doing, trying to break that momentum, trying to break the stride. That's much like pulling a timeout on a football team as they're ready to try and kick a winning field goal. Just put a little more pressure on the kicker. Make him think a little bit more about the pressure that's on him. That's exactly what Funk did. Broke the stride, broke the momentum, got out of the ring. And Colon, as I said, recognized what was happening. Very quickly brought Funk back into the ring. Now has him in the side headlock. Notice the massive forearms and upper arms on Carlos Colon. Keeps the side headlock, and it's Funk with a snapmare. Has Colon to the canvas. Funk closes in once, and it's Colon getting the backslide. Almost had the pinfall. Funk managed to get himself away from it. Colon not going to step into a trap. Waits for Funk to come out of that corner. Colon, in the finest game of chess of all times, human chess at its very finest here in professional wrestling. Colon gets that shoulder off. Funk pressing all 230 pounds down across the chest of Carlos Colon. Funk asking the referee, does he give? Funk caught him. Good shoulder smash coming off the rope. Funk tried to set him again. That time Colon was setting ready for him. Colon brings him up a full body slam on Dory Funk Jr. Dory Funk Jr. now caught on a hip lock takedown. Again, a count of 2. But Funk was able to roll that shoulder off. Funk will take any shortcut available. I've said about him before. To him, victory is the key. Victory is the important thing. Funk out of West Texas State. And now Carlos Colon really punishing the head and the ear of Dory Funk Jr. If you've ever been caught in a side headlock, you realize how trapped you feel, and it can take away that sense of balance. Colon carries the side headlock high on the head, takes it to the hollow of the eye rather than down to the hollow of the cheek.
No. Hey, come on with that too, huh? Watch the face.
That also comes across the ear, creates an unequal pressure on the eardrums. That can have a debilitating effect on your equilibrium. Off the ropes. And brother. Good move by Funk into a standing guillotine. Also known as the abdominal stretch. And it's Colon reversing the situation, brings him down into a lateral guillotine. Beautifully executed. Only a 2 count. Everybody, including myself, thought he had him for the pin. Thought he had him for the pin, but he did not. It was only a 2 count. And Funk is insisting that that count is correct. Only a 2 count. Colon almost losing his cool that time. Almost charged him outside the ring. And that's what Funk wants. Funk wants him outside the ring. But the referee is the man who was tolling the count. He said, no, it was a 2 count. And excellent officiating, very fair-minded. Collar and elbow once again, and it's Carlos Colon with a side headlock. Funk tried to move up into a side waist cinch, but it was Colon blocking him very nicely. Colon keeping that side headlock. Funk trying to get some extra leverage as pulling at the hair of Carlos Colon, but the referee put a stop to that. The referee is a fine, tough-minded official. And again, stops Dory Funk Jr. from trying to get some extra leverage. The count is on, and Funk fires him off. Top of the shoulder smash by Carlos Colon. Colon, ooh. Funk powered that out. And it is Carlos Colon coming up a good forearm into the chest. Colon with a low forearm into the chest of Dory Funk Jr. Catches him for a 3rd time, and Funk is beginning to retreat. Funk moves back into the ring. It's Carlos Colon right after him now. Funk explodes with a right hand, but misses, and it's Colon connecting. Colon connects with another hard right hand, gets him into a side headlock. Brother, I'll tell you what, Carlos Colon has got it all together. He is tightly wrapped. There's no question about that. And again, Colon starting to punish Dory Funk Jr. explodes with the right hand that has Funk staggered. Colon connects again. And goes back to a side headlock. Carlos Colon from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Dory Funk Jr., Humbarger, Texas. Colon keeps the side headlock. This kind of pressure on an opponent, of course, begins to interfere with the breathing of the opponent. And as that occurs, the knee lift by Funk, and there's one of those devastating polo-like forearms. Then a chop into the throat of Carlos Colon. Catches him with another polo forearm. And Colon could be in a lot of trouble here. An overhook on the head. Funk tries to set him for a good block by Colon. Another block. Colon blocking him for a third time. And it's Colon bringing Funk over. A high float over lateral press. And a 2 count and again. And Colon somewhat upset that time as he wanted that 3 count. Funk backing away. Irish whip into the far turnbuckle. Colon explodes to the midsection. Catches him right in that abdominal wall. Irish whip into the opposite turnbuckle. And Funk is beginning to buckle under this pressure. And Colon catches him with the right hand into the prefrontal lobe. And Funk drops to the canvas. Good move by Funk. I'll tell you, he's quite a ring general. He really is. And Colon's going to have to be careful because Funk will have you convinced that he's hurt a lot worse than he is. But Colon now punishing that left arm. And if he can take away the capability of that left arm, it's like taking away a leg from a table. 2 arms and 2 legs, just think of them as 4 legs on a table. You take away one and the table's going to collapse. And there's a forward leg trip. And a roll-up now by Dory Funk Jr. Inside step over. Now a crotch ride on the ankle. And Colon in a 4-point position. Funk trying to post the near arm. Has Colon down to the canvas. And Funk leverage. Scissoring the body. Excellent close-up here by our ringside cameraman. I'll tell you what, these fellas risk a lot while they're out there. And I'm referring to the cameraman. A 230-pound body comes flying at you and you're carrying an $80,000 camera, you've got your hands full. Funk again reaching up, and you can see the movement of that ring rope as Funk had some extra leverage again. There's Funk. There's a good shot of that extra leverage he was getting, caught by the referee. Funk now, with his forearm rocking Carlos Colon. Funk trying to set him for the pile driver. Has him in the pile driver. And that may be all she wrote for Carlos Colon. No, sir. He powers out again. Boy, you talk about great second effort. Carlos Colon has it. Another forearm that rocks the man from Puerto Rico, and another one in Colon. Those legs going a little bit rubbery on him now. A chop into the throat, and Colon trying desperately to get those goblets cleared away. Fires back with the right hand. Funk misses with the right, and Colon connects. Colon now with the head back to the canvas. Cartwheel by Colon, and Colon. That adrenaline is really flowing now. Good second effort here. Colon back on his man. Funk drives the knee to the midsection. Funk sets him again for another pile driver. A block by Colon. Colon this time has him into a backdrop. And so Funk in trouble. A series of pounding right hands into the head of Dory Funk Jr. Double leg pickup. And Funk getting some extra leverage there with those legs. The referee, oblivious to that fact, Colon gets that shoulder off. Funk keeping the... Aha! The referee caught that one. And now a battle between the referee and Funk, and Colon capitalizes on that. While Funk's attention was diverted, Colon connects with a series of right hands. Colon explodes another right hand into the head of Dory Funk Jr. Up on that second ring rope now. He's got Funk Jr. in trouble. And again, it's Colon pounding away. And Dory Funk Jr. has been pretty severely lacerated. Funk's face becoming a crimson mask. And Funk is dazed. He doesn't know what area code he's in. He's caught again, and Funk firing away blindly, and Carlos Colon connects with another headbutt, and it's Funk back to the canvas. The Universal Heavyweight Champion in a lot of trouble as Carlos Colon continues to pound away at the head of one Dory Funk Jr., the Universal Heavyweight Champion. Oh, but out on his feet, I don't know what's bringing him back to his feet. You've got to hand it to the champion. He's got great instinctive powers here. Carlos Colon, a single leg pickup. Colon down across those femoris muscles, and Funk, dazed, staggered, in a lot of trouble, and Carlos Colon goes for the figure four. Carlos Colon goes for that figure four, and he's got it on him. Dory Funk Jr. in desperate trouble here, makes it to the ring ropes. That forces the break. That'll force the break. Carlos Colon had him in that, and Colon thought he had him. Funk in a lot of trouble now. Funk moves outside the ring, and Colon right after him. Funk trying to move away. Colon smashing Funk into that ring post. And Funk's face now a complete crimson mask. And there's a steel chair into the face of Dory Funk Jr. Carlos Colon after him now. And Funk firing blindly. His vision has been obscured, and he's caught with another headbutt. Funk in a lot of trouble as Colon closes in once again. Funk desperately moves away from the ring. And Funk leaving the ring area in trouble, and Funk looking for a way out. Colon right after him again. And now they're battling it out in the crowd. Funk fires back. Boy, you talk about tenacity. These two men have both got up the referee. Both men counted out. Both men counted out as this battle has gotten out of hand. And again, it is Dory Funk Jr.
3 seconds. The referee has disqualified both wrestlers out.
There you heard it from the ring announcer. Both wrestlers disqualified when they carried the battle outside the squared circle. And it's Carlos Colon following his man like a hawk. He's still after him. And the battle rages outside the ring. Carlos Colon wanting desperately to get a pinfall or a victory over the Universal Heavyweight Champion, Dory Funk Jr. But there you see him. Certainly unbeaten, unbowed, and still the number one contender for that Universal Heavyweight Championship, Carlos Colon.
All right.
There's only one way. Let's do the cage. I want to do the cage. Yeah! I want to do the cage right here. Carlos Colon wants Dory Funk in a cage match. Right here. Right here at the
Mr. USA, and we welcome him to the International Championship Wrestling ranks. A man who brings a lot of style, a lot of pizzazz, and great build into this ring. Steve Budd at ringside with Bob Conrad. And we want to thank Jumpin' Joe Savoli for joining us this hour. Bob, Tony Atlas.
We are looking at one super phenomenal athlete in Tony Atlas, Steve. And they affectionately refer to him as the Superman of the wrestling ring. I had the pleasure of watching him at a workout at Gold's Gym just the other day. And when he walks in, everyone stops what they're doing to see one heck of a workout. 15 minutes into the workout, Steve, and he was bench pressing 485 pounds.
Oh, is this guy built? Boy, that goes to show you what working out does for you. That's constant practice, visiting the gym.
Front face lock applied, and Atlas has his man in a predicament here.
His man goes by the name of Tom Teal, 235 pounds from Brockton, Massachusetts. I would consider it just an honor to be in the ring with Tony Atlas, let alone try to beat the guy. But this is professional wrestling, and these guys all want to make names for themselves, as does Tom Teal. Got his work cut out for him, though.
Tremendous muscular definition and configuration on Tony Atlas. And as you made reference to, Steve, this man does his homework in that gym.
Boy, I tell you. You work time and time again toward a physique, and this will be the result if you stay with it. A natural body build, just hard determination. Not many people know it, but Tony Atlas was just a regular kid growing up in the schools. But he worked, as we say, to get that body to where it is, and he's keeping it there. Look at this.
Tremendous lifting power by Atlas.
Oh, that's 235 pounds.
He went down about 10 feet that drop.
And you don't get up.
He's got the 3 count. Your victor in this match, the great Tony Atlas.
Yeah, they love him here. Let's go up now to Darlene Thomas of the Iron Sheik. Look at this. He has brought that flag with him. That is the flag. Oh, I don't believe it. He's not going to sing. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Steve, he's here for the same purpose as the Russian #2 that we just saw, and that, of course, being to disgrace and humiliate the American athletes.
Yeah, but he didn't sing.
Well, here it comes. You mind if I take my headset off for a moment, Steve?
I'm not even going to stand. Well, that, if you must know, was the national anthem of Iran. Something that I'm sure many viewers will not rush to the music store to buy. The Sheik taking his headband or headdress, going after Eric Tombstone. Oh, look at that.
Of course, as always, wearing that controversial footgear.
Controversial, to say the least. They've got sharp points on them, I'll sure.
Tremendous clothesline. Tombstone.
Oh, look at this.
Is this arrogance or what, Steve?
The Iron Sheik.
He's totally confident in his capabilities, and he's in total control at the moment. Tombstone thrown right out of the ring onto the cold concrete floor. And the Iron Sheik, oh no.
Wow.
Right across the back with that metal chair.
Eric Tombstone has felt the first of what I guess is going to be many, many blows delivered by the Iron Sheik here on International Championship Wrestling. Let it be known that the Iron Sheik wants to make a name for himself very quickly here and bring a message to all other wrestlers.
Referee certainly having a hard time officiating this match. Tombstone still having difficulty getting back into that ring. So the Iron Sheik bringing him back in the hard way. Setting him now. Can't get him. Well, there it is. Tremendous suplex. Goes for the cover. Not satisfied. He's looking to inflict some type of permanent injury on his man.
Well, as we see often enough, once you have him down, very seldom do they hold him down. Oh, I don't know what that was.
Tremendous maneuver, devastating.
A reverse back suplex, I guess.
I think he's going to that camel clutch that we've known him for.
There it is.
Nobody escapes from that one, Steve.
Eric Tombstone doesn't look like he will either. No, that's it.
Referee calling for the bell. Tombstone conceding the match.
Wow.
The Iron Sheik making an auspicious debut here on International Championship Wrestling.
The Iron Sheik wearing the symbols of camels on his trunks and boots and displaying the camel clutch. Wow. The Iron Sheik. All right, we'll be back.
Done with the living legend, Bruno Sammartino. It's me, it's BBB, the only man that can bring the oldest, the best, the foundation of professional wrestling to Boston. Here he is, the living legend, Bruno. Tell him a couple of words in Italian, Bruno.
Well, a tutti voi cari paesani di qui di Boston, sono tanto contento di trovarmi qui in Boston, vi saluto a tutti e vi ringrazio sempre per tutti gli anni fa che mi avete dato tanto il coraggio e il supporto qui a Boston.
And remember to watch Empire Pro Wrestling, the best of the best. The living legend's going to be there. The interview's coming. Watch it from 10 to 11 on the Grade 8 with who? The living legend.
Well, thank you, Rocky. Looking forward to it.
The best there is. Bruno Sammartino, be there.
Tony Rummel in the ring in the far corner. We're awaiting the arrival now of the Tonga Kid. Again.
Whoever it is.
And 299 pounds of home, the Boston Bad Boys.
Tonga Kid with perspiration glistening on his back. As you can tell, he's been loosening up and getting ready for this match. One fall, 10-minute time limit now, and it's the Tonga Kid ready to go against Tony Rummel. They tell me he weighs in at almost 300 pounds, and Rummel very quickly drives him back into the corner. Referee calls for the break. Good, clean break. Rummel steps back. The Tonga Kid squares off, lashes out. Put to the midsection. Hard right hand again. Under the chin, brings Rummel up a full body slam. Down across the chest and the throat of Rummel is the Tonga Kid. The Tonga Kid drives another hard right hand. And so Rummel in a lot of trouble here as the Tonga Kid has wasted no time whatsoever. Good chop right over the heart. And one to the top of the head that drives Rummel back to the canvas. Tonga Kid explodes another. I'll tell you what, this Rummel is some kind of tough, though. He took the best the Tonga Kid had to offer. Stayed on his feet. That one buckled him up, however. And look at this. Almost 300 pounds of live weight. Now, that's not dead weight. That's live weight. Tonga Kid not allowing the pinfall on that one. Says, no, sir. I've got someone here that I want to make an object lesson of. And that's exactly what he's doing. Tonga Kid with a flying headbutt. Rummel is down, and the Tonga Kid moving up on that top ring rope. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Sullivan, the master of the occult. Kevin Sullivan charging in there after the Tonga Kid. And Kevin Sullivan punishing the Tonga Kid. And there you see his lady-in-waiting, and Kevin Sullivan has exploded on the Tonga Kid. And we've got total bedlam here. And it is Kevin Sullivan now pushing anybody and everybody out of his way. Now it's Diamond out there. Diamond trying to put a stop to it. He's hurtled from the ring. And the Tonga Kid has got Sullivan's lady-in-waiting in trouble. Catches her, and she's dropped to the table outside. And now it's Kevin Sullivan smashing the Tonga Kid, the referee, calling a halt to this match. And the Tonga Kid taking all of that punishment, and all that's done is made him mad. And Kevin Sullivan suddenly realizes he's raised a new kind of demon here. And Sullivan now beginning to beat a hasty retreat. But the Tonga Kid is after him. The Tonga Kid catches him with a right hand. And it's Kevin Sullivan and the Tonga Kid battling their way up into the grandstand here, into the bleacher area. And it's Kevin Sullivan and the Tonga Kid battling it out in the bleachers. It's the Tonga Kid now scoring with a right hand. Kevin Sullivan with a waist lock on him. And the two of them battling it out on the bleachers. And neither man able to gain any advantage here as they continue to battle it out amidst the crowd. And again, officials and referees trying to separate them. But this match has gotten completely out of hand. Kevin Sullivan invading the ring. And now the enmity, the bad blood between the Tonga Kid and Kevin Sullivan really exploding. Diamond out there trying to separate it, as is the referee. But the battle continues to rage outside. And brother, keep those cameras grinding, because we've got some red-hot action going on outside the ring, and this battle continues all the way to the far wall. Kevin Sullivan smashed into that concrete wall. Sullivan smashed into the wall again. And the Tonga Kid now wreaking untold havoc on Kevin Sullivan. We're losing him in the crowd, but I'll tell you what, the action continues as it goes right on out of the building, out through the exit. And, brother, they got a Pier 6er going out on the street. Kevin Sullivan and the Tonga Kid battling it out outside of the ring, through the bleachers, and out.